We have huge news in the DB community. Just before we went live, the Kansas City Chiefs trade Trent McDuffie, two-time Super Bowl champion, former first-round pick out of Washington, going into now his fifth year, going to have to get a new deal, traded to the Los Angeles Rams, who instantly pick up a superstar and an elite player on a defense that hunts, a defense that's young, and a team that is seemingly always in Super Bowl contentions. It seems that this is a win-win for all parties. The Rams still have another number one first-round pick at number 12 or something like that. They give up pick number 29, which is obviously very enticing for others to get into the first round because first-round talent is first-round talent. But if you already have a first-round pick and you like where your team's at, that 29th pick was probably being utilized as something to go get something somewhere. You pair that with a fifth, a sixth, and next year's third, it's like, that's not bad at all. Going to have to pay Trent McDuffie, but if you have the finances already figured out, but what is that contract going to look like, and why did the Rams want Trent McDuffie so bad?
You would expect the numbers with what Stingley got, J.C. Horn, and those guys, probably around that $25 million mark. I know the salary cap is bumped up, so maybe a little bit more. And this is an absolute stud, and the Chiefs let him go. Obviously, you saw the haul that they got back. They didn't let him go because of talent. He's obviously a talented guy in his prime, and this is kind of what they do. They let All-Pro Mooney go kind of in his prime. They let Snead go down to Tennessee in his prime, and now McDuffie. And this is a guy that can do everything you want out of a defensive back, out of a cornerback. He can cover, he can blitz, he can tackle, and obviously he's been coached great as well. Spags is one of the best defensive minds that this game has ever seen. He has big game experience, winning two Super Bowls, played in 3, and now you're going to a team who's very talented as well. Their coach, Chris Shula, he was kind of one of those hot names on this head coaching market this cycle, but he's still there. It got close. This defense, they play a ton of zone coverage. They don't like to blitz a lot. They like to get home with their front four. I'm interested to see how this changes that defense because now you have a guy that can match up not only on the outside, but he can bump in and match up with some of these number one receivers on the inside as well.
Changing the math is a beautiful thing. The Rams are not going to be able to do that on defense. Speaking of math, Hembo sent over a stat, including the playoffs, the Rams allowed 9 individual 100-yard games receiving in 2025. Only Pittsburgh.
Yo, come on.
Jeez, I didn't know that, Hembo.
Jeez.
Good God. Which also, Mike Tomlin steps down, a whole new team in there. I think that's potentially why 11. So it feels like if the Rams were to get better at a place, that would be it.
Yeah.
Now, the Chiefs get a lot more picks, get a lot more ammo to potentially make some moves. You know, you see Travis and Jason, everybody automatically thinks like, oh, that's like the very cool brothers that are really good at football. Yeah. Nobody's really thinking like, Travis probably going back, it feels like. I don't know. That's just like the way we're reading it.
Feel like it.
And Patrick Mahomes is still there. And is Andy Reid still there? Do they still have a team over there? Nobody's talking about him, and now they're trading away all-pro corner. Feels like they're gearing up for something. Is that not what we're all thinking here with this particular move?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gearing up to get back to where they have been, the last decade or so. But, I mean, last year was weird. They couldn't run the ball to save their lives. Offensive line has been an issue the last few years. They're still trying to figure that out. But, I mean, Patrick's going to be back. Obviously, Andy's going to be back. And the sports books, they are not counting out the Chiefs. They have basically the same exact odds when you look at the Bills and the Ravens to win the AFC. And then you look at the Super Bowl, it's Bills, Ravens, Chiefs in the AFC, and then you have the Patriots behind them. So as far as the books go, they still think it's Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, which has been the AFC majority for the last decade. And then obviously the Patriots, who are the young upstart franchise coming back into it. But no, the Chiefs are still up there in the odds. I don't think anyone is ever going to count them out with Patrick Mahomes. He's probably going to be back for week 1 of next year. If they can figure out the running game, which they are linked to basically every running back in the draft and or free agency. And then they let corners go. That's what they do. D-Butts highlighted it. Like, they'll be fine.
Look at the divisional favorites odds here, okay? And we talk about the Chiefs and how once we see Patrick Mahomes on TV, we're going to get back on board with him. It's like they already think that in the book. So like, Chiefs will be back. Let's go ahead and make sure that's the case. You start looking around some of these. I mean, Connor's face right now is epic that he just read that the Buffalo Bills are favored by that. Could have been something else. He had a look of complete confusion. Yes. Obviously, there's a lot of things up there. I'm not just pointing out one particular thing that he could lose in his mind. But for me, the thing that stuck out whenever I looked at this odds graphic first, Vikings. They were playing for the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
In the end, just think about that. Isn't that
nuts?
That is nuts. And then Ben Johnson gets to Chicago, and now we're all like, Chicago's probably a real team now, like for real. Detroit, we think they're a real team.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised that they're favorites.
That's MCDC football.
Green Bay, we obviously all think are a real team.
For sure.
So all of a sudden you're the Vikings fans, and it's like, I'm learning a lot about my state right now. And also, 2 years ago, we were playing for the number 1 seed in the NFC. And then now we are the worst odds to win just our division at this point. What a wild fall that potentially is for what a coach that we think is one of the best
Definitely.
in the entire league or whatever the case is. The NFL is so hard. And if you're winning, you got to hold on to that for as long as you
that one
possibly.
position.
Well, not only, but I just think in general, if you are winning, you have to hold on for dear God. Patrick Mahomes has weighed in on this particular trade since we talked about the first time, which is 4 letters, couple periods.
Yep.
Damn. That's all he said. Damn. Anytime you lose a great player, obviously the locker room's going to feel it. I assume Trent McDuffie, who's won 2 Super Bowls with the Kansas City Chiefs, also very tight with that particular locker room. He's going to go on to get paid by the Los Angeles Rams in his new home, and the Chiefs will receive their second or later first-round pick. They have the 13th overall pick. They also had the 29th overall pick. They trade that away. They get that, and then they get a 5th, a 6th, and a 2027 third. So congratulations to the Chiefs picking up some picks that I assume they'll bundle. AJ, I'm not 100% sure. How do you feel about the move as a whole, and what do you think this messaging is from both teams?
Yeah, I mean, for the Chiefs to let a great player like this go, it just tells me they just have other needs, I guess, that they feel, and they don't want to pay him the giant contract that he deserves, that he's going to get once this rookie deal is up. So I guess they wanted to get some picks. Like you said, who knows what happens during the draft if they bundle things wherever they try to get. But McDuffie, unbelievable player, man. I love this dude. I love a young corner that is physical. I mean, watch him come up. He's not scared to tackle. I always love seeing that. But I don't know. I think the Chiefs doing this, it just they have other needs. They're trying to figure things out. They know they got to score some points on offense. They got to protect Patrick Mahomes, and they're going to continue to try to do that.
Yeah, and you know, the Los Angeles Rams pick up a weapon over there.
Yes.
And they've been up and to the right seemingly every single year. Is this a move that can change like Super Bowl odds for you or Super Bowl optimism? Everything DB host Darius J. Butler?
Yes, obviously when you bring a guy like this, he's going to add value, not only to what he does, but the guys around him. You have flexibility for a guy like Chris Shula. Now you can expand and do some things differently. We did the Monday morning DC, and we had a couple plays from the Seahawks that was against the Rams. It was obviously large windows, even in that tight red area where usually you like to get matchy and tight, and now you have the ability to do that with a guy like McDuffie, and he can blitz. And what AJ said is important too. When you're one of these top-tier cornerbacks, a lot of times the drawback is they don't want to get physical, get their nose in there and make tackles, and he's not afraid to do that. He's been coached by Spags his entire career. He's played in huge games. He's been going up against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid his entire career in practice and how to go through just those the type of flow of things. So I think this is a great pickup for the Rams that can get them over that hump, help get them over that hump.
Well, speaking of getting over the hump to win a Super Bowl, they were tied for the best odds to win a Super Bowl. They are now the favorites, plus 750.
Wow.
That this move was made. Wow. Shout out to a corner. Hey,
yeah, that's huge.
Hey, that's a corner doing that. We've seen quarterbacks get signed to teams and their Super Bowl odds not move at all.
Good quarterbacks.
Yeah, good quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that have accomplished things in the league. McDuffie goes to the Rams. They go from being tied for the best odds to outright best odds. That's huge for the sports books to make that move. Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys AP tone. Is that just strictly because McDuffie's there, or do you think the sports books are seeing the fact that people are going to see that seemingly their big issue that they had last year and why they weren't great is seemingly now fixed?
Both. When sportsbooks move, it's obviously because of the talent of the player, but also because of the what's the word I'm looking for?
Deficiencies of the team?
No, the sports books are going. They're going to have more money bet on that team, so they need to. Thank you. They need to lessen the handle or the whatever they're going to have.
Oh, I like
pay.
that you had a little brain fart on handle.
Very.
Yeah, I mean you were deep in there.
Yeah.
We were all watching your brain look for it through your eyes.
Yeah.
It felt like you were not anywhere near
there.
I wasn't even.
But guess
close.
what? We're there now. So the handle obviously is about to come because people are about to get eyes on the Rams and start thinking about last year and then maybe what the chances actually are. They're trying to get ahead of that.
Yeah, so more bets are going to come in on the Rams. So when the more bets come in, they don't want to have to pay out greater odds. So if you leave their odds higher, then you're going to have to pay out later if that does come true. So they lower the odds so that the payout at the end doesn't have to be as high. So it's part of the talent of the player and then also how much they know that people are going to come and bet on the Rams because secondary was a position of weakness for them.
Super Bowl at SoFi. Yet again. Okay,
Yeah.
so the Rams trying to double down on that entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
I believe in the Rams. Them having this best Super Bowl odds is crazy to think about because of how many different iterations they had. Is Matthew Stafford still getting in that trailer?
I would
Probably.
assume so.
Oh yeah.
Probably bringing his buddies too.
I think we're getting. I think amoral people. They've been trying to get messages to me. I believe through a lot of different avenues. Hey, the amoral people would like to say thank you to you. It's like tell them I said no problem. Hey, the amoral people are trying to get a hold of you guys to say thank you for what you did for them. It's like, tell them no problem. Then somebody else, hey, these people, the amoral people, yeah, they're trying to get a hold of you. Tell them I said no problem. It's like, no, I think they want to
They want to send you a fucking trailer.
exactly. They wanna, yeah. So I appreciate their persistency. Just know that on my end, amoral, we think you are a huge part of the story. I mean, Matthew Stafford was not going to play. This guy was.
No.
He was supposed to come.
Did we figure out what's in there? Do we know what's in that Airstream? Like, what is it? A red light bed? What is it?
Yes, that $150,000 vibrating thing, red light bed that they have. That I think Puka said it's like the best 30 minutes of his
life.
His life or whatever.
Oh yeah,
it is.
that's right.
Yeah, so I think they have all the shit maybe into one. Whatever the case is, they're a huge part of the entire story of last year for the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford was supposed to be back out. Here's a little inside baseball that we won't say. Matthew Stafford, I guess that's the bed that is inside the amoral. I'm not 100% sure. Yes, okay, that is what it is. Looks super cool. Looks incredibly uncomfortable, but I assume it is actually more comfortable because it's making you better. Whenever we were out in L.A. for the ESPYs last year, we put a request in for Matthew Stafford. Okay, we're like, hey, we're in your city. If you have time, go ahead and do it. And he told us, and I guess we could say this now. I assume he wouldn't be mad if we said it now. He told us, he was like, hey, I'm sorry I can't make it. I got an appointment on my back. This is actually like a thing, And we were like, oh, that feels like real information. Okay, first of all, on Matthew Stafford. But also, you didn't have to tell us. You could have just said no in there. But he was like trying to be like, hey, actually
Want to
do the show. I just want you to know, want to do the show. I'm thankful you guys are out here in LA. I feel, like the whole thing, but like real thing happening. So then as the story continues to roll on, about him potentially being back by this time. And he's not back by this time. And then he's not back by this time. And then this trailer rolls into the back door of the thing. It's like, holy shit, is this old-ass quarterback going to be done? And that was really the chatter about the Los Angeles Rams, is that Matthew Stafford's not going to make it. Back is something that's like unhealable. And then all of a sudden he gets on MVP. What?
Crazy.
How's that even happen for his old ass? Once again, we got drafted in the same class as him. I've been nominated for the Hall of Fame 3 times. Okay, you got to be 5 years out of the game to get nominated for the Hall of Fame. We got drafted in the same class. That's old. He is an old man in this game. Back problems. So that amoral group, I think, is a big deal for them. And if Matthew Stafford could be healthy again, they add a stud down. Because if you can run zone with 10, right? If you can run
that D-line, that front they have too, those guys are nasty up front. So if you can press, especially like third and short situations, man, like a lot of these clips, you're seeing McDuffie pressed up a lot of times, which you have to do when you get third and short.
But he can take away one guy, right? And then what?
Oh, yeah.
Then you can run all your shit without. That was the Revis answer, right? Like Revis was kind of like that. Adding a number one, what does that do for a defense like in whole?
You talked about it earlier in the first hour. Change the math. Whenever you bring over a great player, and typically the guys that are at the top of their position group getting paid, whether it's wide receiver, a pass rusher, a left tackle, all these guys change the math. If you're a left tackle, hey, I don't have to chip. I can get an extra guy out in the pass. And pass rushers, you got to put another offensive line on me. So all these guys change the math, and this is the same thing that Trent can do. Either you can double team the number one guy and just lock him up on the number two, or just have him on a one guy and do different things. And a lot of the bones of their defense is that front four. They've been dependent on that young front four. I'm interested to see who gets paid from that front four, because somebody has to get paid from there as well pretty soon here. But yeah, Trent McDuffie does a ton for your defense.
Les Snead is active. Tone, these first round picks are hilarious for him.
Yeah, and Phil Yates put out the tweet earlier. 2017 traded first round pick. 2018 traded. 2019 traded. 20 traded. 21 traded. 22 traded. 23 traded. 24 they took Jared Verse. So that was awesome. Great pick. 25 and 26 both traded. Now they do have a first round pick still this year.
13.
Yes. But
I said 12 earlier. It's actually a 13th pick. I do apologize for that. But it feels like if we look at their history, everybody in the NFL knew that they were shopping 29.
And what does Les say?
Fuck them picks.
Picks.
Yeah, but those picks are able to get you really good stuff.
That's a haul too.
Haul.
Yeah.
That's for a corner. Like that's all you got.
Yeah, but really, 5th, 6th, next year 7th.
First in the third too. Next year, like
Yeah, 3rd, I
a
guess.
lot of-
Right?
Yeah,
3rd
third
is
next
a lot.
year.
But this is a second victim of 29. No offense. I don't want to knock any draft classes saying that something is 29 isn't a first rounder because it certainly is a first rounder.
pick?
But those 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 picks,
Yeah.
seemingly now that we're covering the draft a little bit more, those are viewed for the first round teams as second round picks.
Yeah.
And for third bad teams, they're viewed as, oh, that's another first round pick in there. You know,
Yeah.
It's interesting how easy teams are to get off of, especially the good teams.
But then,
How easy they are to get off of that type of stuff.
but you never know, who that player is. It's always a pick. It looks different when it's a number. But like, what was Cooper Kupp was a 3rd rounder.
Yeah.
Like these guys, you never know. Richard Sherman 5th round. Like it's always Puka is a 5th round. So you never know in each draft. All these teams fall in love with certain players and they'll slip, or maybe they have these different picks. They can jump up a couple picks. So you never know kind of who that player is. And I'm sure they probably have a handful of players that they love.